disconnects. Why? Because reasons. Oh man! Right out the gate, right out of the gate, things are going wrong. Hey, I'm gonna do a real quick check here. All right, looks like the mic is connected again. Sorry to have to throw the noise in there. Welcome to a after the big holiday version of Saturday Night Special. Oh, hope everybody's went well. Mine certainly did. I'll just be right up front, right out of the gate. I am still currently sitting in the same underwear that I was wearing when I woke up yesterday morning. And now in the clothes that I was wearing last night, which we'll be talking about that. Let's cut the camera on. There we go. One day I might have I think, what's his name? Chris Von Erich. Big shout out to him. He did a show tonight. No, he had me. I called in and we talked about some things. And also Red Sings the Blues. He's another one who also has an intro. One day I may figure out how to do that. First, I like to get a cigar sparked here. This is what the fuck is it called? Tavikusa? Tavikasa? I don't know how to pronounce it. It's another one from Rocky Patel. Rocky Patel is a brand that is known around here. From what I have, they rank right up there with Acid and Alec Bradley and Oliva and oh god, who else? There are other ones. I'm not using my regular house lighter this time either. I'm using my my everyday carry. Cigar lighter from Mantello, and one of the things I like about this is it has a little triple jet. Let's see if I can open that. Show you. Well, no, I could show you, but then I'd ruin the camera. It has not just one nozzle, but three of them. So pretty efficient at lighting a cigar, amongst other things. But also comes with a little cigar punch attached to it, which I think is pretty damn cool. It's like $11 off Amazon, and some reviews that say it fells. I haven't had it really fell on me just yet. So then again, I got it so I could take it to the bar. I could smoke my cigars there. And I don't know where you are. Bar's still closed here. That's why this show is still the thing. Pump that up a bit. There we go. Initials working on the cherry here. Something I've done more than once. Oh, wait, we were talking cigars. Sorry. I can hear the wind that's fucking with the fans here. It just started raining, actually, right before I hit the record button. It's kind of nice here in Fort Sky Dungeon. Let me tell you about Fort Sky Dungeon. It's it's in the name. It's an attic unit, which means directly above me is the ceiling, and then there's the roof. So you get the sounds of things that hit the roof. With luck, that's not human bodies, but you know, just precipitation, rain. And I happen to like that. I happen to like weather. I happen to like rain, wind, thunder, all that kind of stuff. I mean, so some other people, maybe that's not their thing. Maybe it's the opposite. Of which, then you have to ask, you know, what other problems does this person have? But you know, I love it. As you can go to sleep or wake up to the sound of rain hitting the roof. It's something that this area is known for. I mean, so it's great as far as I'm concerned. So it is after that particular holiday. There you go. Now I got a good cherry on this. Hopefully everybody's went well. Now, one of the things that I had noticed, so the job that I work, I do interact with quite a few people, and you know, whenever I actually feel like doing it, I'll ask, you know, how things go in there. It gives me some insight into what the general populace is thinking and dealing with, and all that other stuff. You know, these days, or at least, you know, on the ground at the time of. And so I've been doing quite a bit, asking, you know, hey, are you doing anything for the holidays, for Christmas? You got to go see anybody? You have any plans? And almost across the board, I noticed that most people, they pretty much all said the same thing. They're staying in, because they're keeping it local. They're not doing anything too big or anything like that. But it wasn't just that. And that, to be fair, that's nothing new up in this area. I did see quite a few people. They did do gatherings up here. I saw people gathering into like the lobbies of their apartment buildings and stuff, waiting to go other place. So there were people going out. There were people having a good time. Mostly the Indian population up here, actually. Funny enough, they seem to not really give them too much of a shit about this. But it wasn't just what was being said, it was how it was being said. It was the tone that was coming out. And I told some of my other people about this, and we'll talk about them. Said they seemed defeated. It was not only that they weren't going to go out and do anything or meet family or meet friends and all these other things that makes life worth living and all that shit, or at least one of the things. So they didn't even want to try anymore. It was like they don't, like they're beaten, they're defeated. And that's something I've asked around, and I'm hearing the same thing from other people in the field. It's like, Safety Doc has talked about this. Finite voltage, by the way, safetyphd.com. Or follow his fucking channel. Hey, any of you assholes out there, if you're listening to this and you're one of Doc's like 5,000 fucking followers on his Twitter page or his Safety PhD. Okay, riddle me this, Batman. Why does Safety Doc have 5,000 fucking people following him on Twitter and only like 270 on YouTube? Somebody figure that shit out for me. Because I'm at a fucking loss here as far as that goes. Anyway, he's talked about finite voltage. Basically, you can only take some case of chaos for a set amount of time before you start mentally breaking down. I think he said it was 90 days for the average civilian, maybe 120 days for somebody who's combat trained, like in the armed forces or security or whatever. And we're in what, month 7 of this shit? With no end in sight. And that's one other thing he's pointed out. At least, you know, with some cases, like say it's a hurricane or something. Okay, the hurricane comes in and flattens your house. Well, at least I had a set fucking date. The hurricane's going to end. We don't know when this shit's going to end. And so I think that's starting to get to people. It really is. It's giving like everybody's like they don't even want to fight anymore. They don't want to try to get together. They don't want to fight against the mandates or the mass shit anymore. It's like it's over for them. They've lost the will to live, basically. It's really started to happen in real time here. Now, I don't know what it's like in your area, but that's what it's like here. Even my own fucking family, we'll talk about them in a moment. You know? Even my own family, they had their own issues, and we'll talk. I think I talked about them already, but we'll talk about that again. Cameron Sanchez says, remember when they were saying that we need 2 weeks to flatten the curve? Yeah, what was that? 210 days ago or something? There's a long ass 2 weeks now, isn't it? I'll be honest. I think I actually look back through my old works back in March or early March or late February or whatever the fuck it was when that show was being rolled out. We need 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and that's why we have these temporary government programs, because, again, there's nothing more permanent than a temporary government program. Yeah, I remember that show. I was like, nah, that shit ain't gonna happen. This isn't gonna be lit up. It isn't. I was only partly wrong because in-store dining was let in for like another couple months before the latest shit that happened. But yeah, even my folks, and I guess I'll give an update and kind of just give it context, you know. So we met for Thanksgiving, and I'm okay saying that now because I've seen what the actual enforcement of that is now. And where people be, I'm not that fucking far out of the loop. So that I'm okay with saying. Afterwards, two of the people, they ended up testing positive, and there goes the fucking mic. Jesus Christ. I lost the mic. All right. the fuck happened? Jesus Christ. I didn't even move the damn thing and it's fucked up. Okay. We're playing that stupid fucking game. Fine. Anyways, so they got sick and they went and they tested positive. Spoiler alert, both overweight. And ain't just by a little bit. Probably part of the cost. But they recovered okay, and the other folks, they were having their own issues. I guess they were being overworked. They had some other things going on. So they were not, as they put it, like a million fucking times 100%. So I had one or two plans. One, this is the one I didn't want to do. You know, nothing against the folks that are up here. But one, I had not seen my folks down in Inglewood in, well, literally this entire year. It's number one. And number two, there was other people. I had like a whole kind of tour that I could have put together. I was going to try to visit Juan Cabrera, by the way. My buddy, the Oregon Firebender, Atham, maybe even A-Dub, the Apothic Witch Girl. Although she's living with her quote-unquote man of her dreams, or whatever. So maybe that probably wouldn't have been the best idea. Yeah, that ended up not working out because half of those people, like, oh, my pops too, by the way. I was going to visit him along the way. Most of those didn't work out. You know, because it turns out people that were in other places, they had other plans, or they just didn't have the accommodations to have me there or whatever. I didn't plan enough ahead to actually get like an Airbnb, you know, in Juan's case, because he's got his own issues, so. Until I wasn't able to get the repairs that I needed done. Now, it's one thing to drive 30, 40 miles into work and then 30, 40 miles back or something. You know, it's within the easy tow distance for the drivetrain issues that I have, but drive 1,000 miles one direction and 1,000 miles back and relying on that shit, that's not a good idea. So I had to put that off. The other plan was to go visit the folks, do what I normally do, make some sort of candy bacon. By the way, I still have the bottle here that I use for that. I'll show you in a moment. And go visit them. And since they end things early, then I'll hit my folks up down in SoCal on Instagram or Skype or something. That was the idea. Actually, I'll go ahead and show you now, just because I want a shot of this. This is a dangerous shit, by the way. You want to know what? Now, I usually use, what was it, Crown Royal Regal Apple for my candied bacon. Well, I decided to use this year, and I thought it was rather special. And I think it came out pretty fucking good. Want to know what I used? This here is Screwball. It's a peanut butter whiskey. And when they say peanut butter, they mean fucking peanut butter. Now, I told the antidote of, Russian next up. Bowl of Chaos. Her friend ended up calling me from her phone after she got into the brown sugar bourbon, leading to one of her life lessons. And you can find it on her channel, Utterly Jordan. don't drink bourbon like it's water, it's because it's that easy to drink. And then keep in mind, she's native, so natives are kind of like the Southeast Asians. Like, they can't tolerate alcohol all that well. So her drinking almost half a fucking bottle of that shit kind of led to some issues. I can only imagine if she was still around and we ran across that. I can't imagine what fucking floor we'd be picking her up off of. So yeah, I got that. Soaked the candy bacon. I made the candy bacon the way I normally do it, and I added a little bit more pepper than I normally do. So that morning, I already had the bacon made, so all I had to do was make the. Now, when I go to work, and I showed this off before, I have the respirator and basically the whole outfit. I don't do that when I go visit the folks. Almost ready to try this beer. Give them a shout out in a moment. So what I usually do is I'll make a bacon weave, and I'll use that. Like, I'll put it in a plastic bag or something, get like a shoelace, and I'll use that as an actual mask. I'm going to give a shout out to Lyft, actually. Not Lyft itself, because they've been pushing the whole mask narrative real fucking hard. It's like, make sure you wear your mask your entire trip, or, your driver may tell us and won't deactivate your account and all this other shit. Okay, that's Lyft corporate. And I don't even know if that's just a corporate thing. By the way, just to give a shout out to these guys, Camp Brewing, I went over there, got a couple Christmas gifts for my folks down in LA. Scant Brewing in Auburn. They actually do have outdoor seating, so they're good. Now, the last time we featured these guys, it was a while ago, and I think it was before I moved, and there was a lot of other things going on. So I had not been able to go back there. This is the first time I've actually been able to go back there, and I showed up with just the full gear, and they didn't even recognize me. They kind of had an idea who it was, or who I was, rather. But I even had the voice box and everything. I just wanted to do that just to F with them, just kind of give them a show. Last time it was, what was it? Exiled in Siberia. It was their regular stout. This one, I decided to go ahead and continue the train here. It's a crawler of their coconut version of it. It's supposed to be chocolate and hazelnut and all this stuff in it. 9.2%. There's definitely coconut in this for sure. Ray John's here. Happy New Year's, Beerka. Beer can of me bacon. All right, I see what you did there, asshole. Happy New Year's to you, Ray John, and Merry Christmas to you too, even though you're a communist. But yeah, I usually get my beers. I'll get beers from now. start visiting them a little bit more regularly again. I got a couple calls from there's this one and there's another one that was really good. It was like American Strong Ale that was like chocolate raspberry or something. Ridiculously good. I wake up in the morning and I have to make the mess. I'm not having the greatest luck of doing that. Well, it took me longer to cook it than I thought it would. Yes, I use real bacon in my mask if I have to wear one. I start texting other people. I figured I'd at least take the time to reach out to other people and just say Merry Christmas stuff. People I may have talked to in a while, and I got in contact with a lot of the people. Some old friends, some old colleagues. Hell, one of the old guys who he got me the job that I'm in now. Or maybe not in now, but he got me the job that led to the job that I'm in now. And I still remember back then I was kind of a risky prospect. I didn't have any registration. I had just got my license. I was still working on, I think I had my insurance, but I was still working on that. And so he could have easily said no. But we said, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to improve you. You're in. And so say what you will about all your other experiences and everything else you can do. Your income kind of determines what you can do in life. And so this ended up being one of the highest paying jobs I've ever had. It also ended up being a job where I could do other things. I could actually work my own damn schedule. And we even talked about that. He brought it up. It was like, he said that. And I still remember one of the final days I had working at my old company. He was actually one of my final clients. He lives pretty far up north now, out of the working area, but he doesn't work at the company anymore. But I got to deliver to him. They were like days before we ceased operations, and I mean, what do you even say to that? Like, you brought me into this company, and now I'm helping you out. I'm bringing you stuff. What can I say? And so I told him, thank you because of you, basically. I wouldn't be where I am if you hadn't taken the risk of having me join your fleet of drivers, basically. And I got to send him that screenshot I had of literally me closing out the company, literally number one, by a fucking landslide. And the reason those a landslide is because I don't recognize who the other two were. The only other person I could think of, it's somebody that I know. And the last time we had met up for like some company party or something, he was the only one that was ahead of me. And he wasn't able to work afterwards. Hey, You put in that work, man. What can I say? But I'm working the bacon mask, and I'm sending messages out, getting messages back, and I'm calling my pops. And me and him end up in this pretty deep conversation about a lot of different things. He's doing pretty well, apparently, by the way. I thought he was going to be asleep or something, but apparently not. And then I start getting messages from my folks going, hey, I'm coming by. We're going to have dinner waiting in whatever, 45 minutes. And so, again, they've given me clear warning, even if they didn't remember. They're not 100%, which means usually they will drive me back home. I'll get a Lyft right there, and they will usually drive me back home. They're pretty much telling me they can't drive me back home, which is fine. I've always gotten right there with the intent that if I need to, I can get a ride back home. It's no problem. So I reassure them, yes, I can get a ride back home. No big deal. Now I have to fast track that shit. I get a Lyft ride and get all the notifications. So make sure you wear a mask the entire time, or your driver can ding you and you can get your account deactivated or some other bullshit, you know. Now I'll say this, okay, maybe it's Lyft covering its ass. I don't know. But as far as the people who are on the ground, the people who are actually doing the driving and stuff, they don't give a shit. They don't. And that is something I definitely appreciate as far as it goes. Again, they're the ones that have to deal with this shit. You know? My company has talked about it too. They've mailed me masks, like, you wear this if you need to, all this hand sanitizer, all this bullshit. But people who are actually working on the ground or whatever, they don't care. Because they have to actually deal with this shit. So I walk up and I got my bacon weave mask, and that's starting to fail because I fucked it up for whatever reason that I fucked it up. I think I actually know why. Third time I do it, I think it should be okay. But it starts falling, and I just take it off, and none of the drivers care. Usually they're taking theirs off too. Once they realize I'm not like some fucking crazy person, well, not that type of crazy person at least, like, they'll take theirs off too, and we just end up talking. And that's why they're like, I can actually talk to the people who are doing Lyft driving. This is lost in carbonation, but it's damn good. That's the thing about crawlers and growlers, whatever. And Gary was right. GaryandDino.com. They're right. Even with the crawlers, you lose a little bit of carbonation. Or you lose most because you're pouring it. It's not being canned at a specific canning place. Doesn't make it any less good. Yeah, we talk about a bunch of things. I end up in my plate at my folks' place. No, I'm still not taking chances with my legal device. That's been bagged. The other one's up there, and again, reason being, People were being arrested for going to visit their family. I would have known about it by now. So I'm not too worried about it anymore. Back at Thanksgiving, I didn't know. So I didn't take any chances. Now I have a little bit more of an idea. But they've got their not pot roast, what is it? Rib roast or whatever. A bunch of other things. And guess what? Yeah, I dived head first into that shit. And I had him try the candy bacon. I had him try to guess what it was. Bob's had like 4 or 5 pieces before he was able to actually figure it out. Or at least get an idea of what it was. The screwball's addicted, man. It is. There you go. Shit you normally don't see on camera. You can look at my fucking hand because I spilled screwball all over my fucking palm. They enjoyed that. We ended up listening to some music that, for whatever reason, it got inspired by. I was talking about Chris Cornell and some other musicians. I played that, and I'll say this: they were not wrong in saying that they weren't 100%. My pops look okay. His wife, not so much. She was pale, but she was still vital enough to kind of stay awake, I guess. She was okay. Yeah, they did what they could to kind of at least keep the Christmas thing going. They did what they could. And that I do appreciate, I know they weren't doing any obligation or anything, they really wanted to do it. And despite me wanting to have other plans, that was something like, it would have been a sacrifice to not visit them. So I'm glad I took the time to actually go out there to go see him. Now, I didn't exactly do the best thing out there. Now, I remember the bacon, obviously. They enjoyed the hell out of that. I brought a 12-pack of Sierra Nevadas, which that was going to be the gift to the building mates that live here. And then I realized the pack of Elysias I was going to give to my mechanic. Turns out they don't drink anymore because reasons. But the Racers actually works better. I think the Sierra Nevada was. It was a 4-pack of 3 different beers. The Elysian was a 4-pack of 3 different beers. So that works out better so everybody can get one different kind. I left that down there for me, and then my the building manager here, guy's been fucking awesome, and his live-in girlfriend, like, even more so, or at least the same. I got them and their father, the one who owns all this shit. a bottle each of cupcake prosecco, which that is what I use to celebrate just about every year to bring in a new year. Everybody talks about champagne. Nobody talks about prosecco, which I think is superior to it. Just my opinion. Fight me. But I had a 12 pack, and I thought I'd at least have like one of the other guys drink with. Turns out he got himself in some sort of trouble. Which, it should be noted, I guess he can get himself in trouble as far as a relationship goes. He wasn't there. I know he drinks. So I had to drink. Not only was I drinking most of the beers out of that, I ended up carrying it home. I was hell fucking trying to get home. I had a real good time there. Good prime rib. And as far as diet goes, now let me put it this way. This next coming month, me and Paul Saladino, we're going to be fighting over some things that he's been saying that I'm just going to say on the fundamental level I disagree with. But I'm going to at least try his method of things. Steak, eggs, mostly ruminants and eggs. Probably what he would recommend to eat. Now, I've not gotten his book, The Carnivore Code. I won't have time to read it. I'll get it, but I won't have time to read it. I've got way too much other shit going on. But I can guess based on what I've heard of what he has had to say. Hey, bacon and chicken wings killing you. I got chicken wings in the fucking oven right now. Fuck you if I'm going to give that up. But what I'll do with this January coming up, I'll try that. I've already stocked up with a bunch of steaks. I can already go get more. We'll do steak and eggs, ground beef tacos or whatever. I'm going to try that. But until then, I'm doing all kinds of gluttony. Like it's game on. And last night was just a kickoff of it. I ate all the goddamn scalloped potatoes, macaroni and cheese, all the cakes that they had there. I mean, I guess you can throw it into candy bacon, but I wouldn't count that. But I'm sure Paul would count that along with the fucking coffee I'm going to be having later to, this morning. So later this morning. I wonder what you say about the tobacco, the cigars and shit. You don't ingest that, so who knows? Anyways. But I'm going to give that a shot, but I figured I'm going to kick it off with that. One thing I noticed, actually, I take in too much caffeine from coffee, but I added in, I got a couple of these bottles from the SAR Super Saver. That's where they got their, I didn't even know this. That's where they normally get their prime rib from. I thought they got it from somewhere else. They get it from SAR Saver. I got this. It's O'Mara's, shit, wrong again. My bad. O'Mara's, basically, it's their, that's another version of Bailey's, and I've been getting them from years, actually. I didn't even know they had it there. But they do, and it's compared to Bailey's, which, by the way, is like $29 fucking now, compared to $11 for this. And then there was this. There's O'Reilly's white chocolate. I noticed I had a little bit of that. So I did it the other night. Well, that Christmas afternoon, basically. And I didn't get quite the jitters I normally do when I drink coffee. Kind of mellowed it out. I did the same thing today, too. Yeah, you know, it was a small gathering, and I tried to get more people to show up, and that didn't fucking happen. I tried to hit up my pops on line because the place I live in, this is the other reason I wasn't worried about brown bagging this device as opposed to the other one, and which I probably didn't even have to do the other one either. That whole fucking place is like Faraday bagged. There's no goddamn signals that are coming out of there unless you have Wi-Fi. And so by the time it was time for me to get out of there, like I had to rely on their Wi-Fi to get out, and I don't know what I was doing to fuck things up. And I think it was on their side, it wasn't on me. I had a hard time getting a goddamn lift ride out of there. To the point where my pops was pulling out, he pulled out a blanket. He's like, hey, you know, if you slip here, okay. Again, thanks. I really do appreciate it. And by the way, I said this last night and I'll say it again. You know, thanks to them. This is easy to be thankful. Just like with my the guy who onboarded me for the job I had. The only reason I was able to take that was because these guys were willing to take me in the first place. Now, I was only supposed to be there for a couple weeks, maybe a month. I was sleeping on their couch. I had my savings and all that stuff. It was supposed to be used to put the first and last month in security deposit on the place, give me some groceries and all that stuff. I had the savings and all that stuff. And I was only supposed to be there for a couple of weeks. I ended up on their couch for 5 fucking months. Actually, I think even longer. No, even longer. So it was the 1st of November, and it was like 6 or 7 months, actually, now that I think about it. Now, I paid rent after about a month or two. Paid about $400 a month just to stay on the couch, which is fine. It was understandable. By the way, their own fucking daughter who lived there. We both were there for the same come to Jesus moment, I guess. And while I was totally okay with, you know, I understood, hey, you need to keep the lights on, you need to keep the electricity going and all this stuff. So I'm willing to chip in for that. She was saying, hey, let's take our $800 a month and go elsewhere. Like, what the fuck? I can kind of understand where you're coming from, but that's your fucking go-to reaction? Are you fucking serious? Yes, you're there right. I, as an outsider, for the most part, was a better fucking tenant than their own goddamn daughter. But that was the point I was trying to make to them as I was leaving, and the other people that had taken risk on me and ended up working out in their favor. It was like, no, you didn't have to do that, but you did, and so I'm very grateful for that. And now's something I final person was people that are responsible for me being in the place that I'm in right now, the place that I'm broadcasting to you from right now. Fort Sky Dungeon. My answer is a little bit unclear. Let's just put it that way. My income is a little bit unclear. And if you know anything about this area, a lot of people's incomes are unclear. Not sure if people are going to be able to pay their rent. They're not sure if, they're going to have their fucking walls bashed in. Trust me, I've fucking seen it up close. I've seen the destroyed apartments because they had to get evicted and they did all kinds of fucking damage. I've seen it up close. So the fact that they took... No, I've never done that. So maybe that probably has worked in my favor. Well, I would say probably has worked in my favor. But take the risk they did. And so that I am grateful for. They took that risk and hopefully it's really worked out for them. It seems like it has. So that's why I got them a lot of the gifts that they got. The people who live in this building, the family that I have out here, all that stuff. So just to continue that story, I did eventually make it home. I had to pay like an extra $5 or $6 to get some sort of express ride because regular rides, that shit wasn't happening. Again, I get in, I'm having mask malfunctions, and the guy's like, he didn't care. He wanted to wear his, but he didn't care if I wore it. And me and him had a nice conversation on the way back. I was on Instagram talking to my mom downstairs, down in Inglewood. Because the plan was, again, they're going to close out early. And they've even said as much. Pops, the father has to work early. Like, he's getting like 2:30 in the fucking morning, some ungodly hour. Mama was not feeling all that well. Everyone else is leaving. Party's gonna be over pretty quickly. But they will be up. And so we're up, and I'm wearing pretty much what I'm wearing now. This actually shirt today is sent me. I think it was for my birthday or Christmas or something like that. And we had quite the conversation. It was nice to be able to... I wanted to be able to see them in person. That was the whole point of planning that trip and all that stuff, even though it didn't work out. But it was nice to see them. It was nice to be able to talk to them and all that stuff. And if my bottle cap count is right, I think it went through 4 or 5 fucking beers. There's literally only 2 beers left here. As I knock shit over. Here's the only 2 from that fucking 12-pack. One of them is like the 40th anniversary. It's from Sierra Nevada. Those are the only ones I have left over. That and the screwball keep taking little teeny tiny plugs off of because it's that fucking good. But we had a pretty good time, and I still remember, again, like I said, we got that done, and I'll be honest, that's the last thing I remember. And next memory I have is I woke up And like I'm still clothed, literally in what I'm in right now, minus the hat and glasses. The hat again, sponsored by the Tiger Bar Cafe over in June Lake, California. Definitely visit them if you're in the Eastern Sierras. Wake up, my left arm's kind of fucking numb for whatever reason. Don't worry, it's working now. I look out and it's dark and I go, and I'm looking at the device that I'm broadcasting you onto now. I don't know where the other one is. At the time, at least. I'm sorry, it's 6 o'clock and I'm like, fuck no, I'm staying the fuck in bed. Next memory I have, and I kind of like doing lucid dreaming and shit. Finally gave back up at like 11 or so. And so I get up and I get some other things done. And I think I actually told the folks I was going to do, I would at least try to do it. This is Saturday. I was going to, in the shipping center that I normally go to, they close early, but I should have been able to get there on time. I had some other things I needed to do to the car and all that stuff. So I got that done. And I was going to go there. Turns out they started closing an hour earlier. So I wasn't able to do that. So, shit. Now I got these gifts that I'm sitting on for them, and hopefully they fucking last. 2 of them for beers again from Scant Brewing over in Auburn, Washington. All just fantastic beers. I can't wait to get to that next one. But I figured, hey, one of the things that I forgot to bring to the folks was there was this cheesecake. I wanted to bring a cake over because that's one of the things they like. They like their desserts and all that stuff. And you know what? Why not appease them for that? Especially, for a holiday. Why not have a dessert on a fucking holiday, Now, I'm as big as carnivore as anybody. But fuck that. If when it comes to the holidays and just days like that, why not fucking enjoy yourself? Why not have that shit? A few days of that shit ain't gonna kill you. Ask me how I know. So back to cheesecake, and I go over there, and I show up. The legal device has been bagged, so again, not taking any chances I don't have to. Plus, I know to call the other device anyways. And so I go there, and most of the cars, including one extra one, is there. So I'm thinking, okay, they're there. Cool. You hang out with them for, well, they always say, hey, come by and just hang out when you get a chance and all that stuff. And that's how I wanted to bring them something so, that they would actually enjoy. Who would enjoy a fucking brownie cheesecake? Like, come on. And so I ring the doorbell, and there's no answer. And I ring the doorbell again, and there's no answer. Now the garage door is open. I can tell the door to get into the place is open. I don't go into places that I'm not explicitly invited to go into, so I didn't open it. I thought about just eating cheesecake and like they have a refrigerator in the garage. But I want a piece of this damn cheesecake too. I can get another cheesecake, but I'm not gonna eat this entire one myself, so at best I want to get like a slice, maybe two. And so again, they're in fucking RFID territory. Like, you cannot get a signal in and out of there unless you have Wi-Fi. So I leave and I go to a place where I can actually kind of broadcast, and I call him. I call my pops and he doesn't answer his phone. So I think that's even weirder. Like, did I piss these guys off last night somehow? Like, what happened? I'm thinking maybe this is something that I did, which is not out of the realm of possibility. It wouldn't be the first time. This beer is really holding up, by the way. Even though it doesn't have any much carbonation anymore, it's still holding up pretty well. So I call, my mama, I'll call her number, and he picks up, which already is a bad sign. And what he has is like, his dire is, she's not doing well. We're going to be taking her to the hospital. So what it tells me, they're there. For whatever reason, they weren't answering, and I still don't know why. They never told me. But she ends up having some sort of kidney infection or something, and I guess things are just taking a turn for the worse. Now she's in the hospital. And so they said they were happy that I decided to try to show up and bring things over, and I was thinking about them and all this other stuff. But they had to take care of this stuff, and I still have not been told about what her condition is yet. Again, she wasn't doing all that well when I saw her last night. So I don't know how she's doing. Again, look, she doesn't have that much of an immune system left. And she's the one that's been talking about, like, look, I don't care what it comes down to. I'm not getting this fucking vaccine. Whatever it is for the COVID bullshit. They've been on my side as far as that goes. We'll talk about that in a moment. But now let's... Honestly, look, I really do just hope she's okay. Hope she will be okay. I hope this is something that she'll be able to pull out of. She's been able to pull out of a whole lot of things before. Hopefully this will be another thing where she can pull out of it again. I really do just feel for her. I do. Because she's been through a lot. She's on borrowed kidneys too, by the way. She's had to have kidney transplants. So, hopefully she's okay. One thing I do hope for. Now we're talking about while I was grateful for what they did for me again. They took a big risk on me, like being kind of a deadbeat that they might have had to take care of for a while. And to a certain extent, they actually did. There was a while where I wasn't able to earn my own damn living. It takes a while to go to a state where everything falls apart that you had planned. All that falls apart, and you have to rebuild your own plans and shit again. You have to get help from other people to get yourself back on your own 2 feet. And that's what I had to do. Not only for me, but for, at the time, the Hot Russian partner. Now the Hot Russian ex. I had to do that. And they were there for me. And I really do appreciate that. At the same time, I have my own criticisms for them. And they knew I had those criticisms, but I made it known again. If you know of me, you know of Aaron Clary. And he's talked about this before, having a wifey poo that wanted the big house to rent in. It was like the big SUV or something. And they were literally that. Literally, they had gotten the big Escalade with the rims and everything. They made a lot of the wrong decisions. We'll just put it that way. And there were several instances where I made it clear, it was like, hey, this is where you guys are cartoonishly following the fucking narrative. And these are the things where you can fucking improve. Now, for at least a couple of years, that shit didn't happen. They moved like 100 fucking times. I was there for at least a few of them. For a while, they didn't listen. And that's to be understood. Some asshole just walking into life, especially when an asshole that is kind of depending on your shelter and safety for survival. I can understand not listening to that goddamn person, no matter how smart he is or how experienced he is. That kind of shit. And this has not been the case for most people, but as far as just my folks go, as far as a lot of some of the other people that are in my life goes, they fucking listen. They finally fucking listen. And what they have going on now. Only complaint I'd really have about their currently living situation, as far as I'm concerned, which would be really selfish, but I'm going to be selfish anyways. They're a lot farther away than I would like. The other place they had was pretty damn easy to get to and get in and out of. It whether they wanted to just go home afterwards or go to work afterwards or whatever, it was a lot closer. It was probably the most convenient place to get into and out of. So I liked it. So that's my place they're at. It's farther away. But that's the place that they are actually trying to set down roots in. They are making payments and all that stuff. And it's a place that they like. Their vehicle purchases, they have one car that they got that I would not get in a million fucking years, but they got it for free. So I could stand keeping that. But the SUV that the wifey poo has to get, it's fine, it's SUV, but you know what? It's something that the cops will get. So probably a lot easier to maintain. That's usually a general rule. A lot of the other decisions they're making, they're actually listening to what the fuck I'm saying now, is what I'm saying. Most people don't, especially friends, especially family. They're all invested in whatever they think is the best as far as they think. They don't take any criticisms. They don't take any advice. These guys are actually taking my advice. They're taking my criticisms, and they're taking my shit talking. They're actually taking it seriously. And they're not only doing that, they're acting on it. This is something I got to say to them the other night. And they were okay with that. They listened. You know how fucking rare that is? Most people don't fucking listen. Let alone actually take heed into what you're actually saying. They don't. The fact that they do that alone speaks volumes. And so that's something I had to make note of that night. And that's something I was really grateful of. The fact that they actually took the time to listen to what I had to say and let alone act upon it. I mean, what do you even say to that? As somebody who's tried to save countless people only to watch it burn later, they took the time to listen. So I appreciate that. I really do. Now, again, it took me a while to get home, but I did, and I got the chance to talk to my mom and all that stuff. And she's been kind of on the same kick, actually. Do you think it's something to get the folks that you've only known for a few years to listen to you? Try to get literally the woman who not only raised you, but carried you in her stomach for 9 months to listen to you as well. Well, husband, they're doing the same thing. They're starting to listen. Again, it's not like I'm not Joe Stradamus or anything. I'm not the second coming of Jesus, far from it. Probably about as far from it as you can imagine. But they're listening to a lot of things that I'm saying. And we managed to have a pretty good conversation, actually. One where I went through like 5 or 6 beers, actually. I mean, but that was a lot of fun. It was. Again, as most people could probably imagine, it wasn't the Christmas that you would normally imagine having. But it was a good one worth having, and I'm glad I did it. I don't think I even had the mic plugged. I think it just had the. Think about the device that I'm broadcasting you on. It's one of those things that you can either have the charger plugged in or the mic, but not both. Now I have an adapter for that coming along the way. So I'm broadcasting to you on battery power right now. But just a show note. I mean, with the fact that people are listening, there were times where I didn't think I'd get anybody to listen. Hence, why giving up on reason? Why giving up on evidence? Not that I given up on it at an empirical scale, but just as to help anybody else. Why bother? At least some people are listening. So my folks are listening, and I can say that's definitely one thing that I'm grateful for. And they want to. They want to hear more from me. They actually listen to the show. My pops listens to the show now. He asked for a couple of things that I was talking about, and I sent them to him. Now, whether he'll listen to them anytime, where I get any feedback from, I guess I'll talk about it here. When he does, he asked about Bowl of Chaos, and I send him the pictures and the show I did on her specifically. In memoriam, by the way. 15-minute philosophy in memoriam. But they're listening. They're starting to fucking listen. And I guess that's one good thing they have that comes out of this year. Like, fine. Most of the other people, they feel kind of defeated as far as this year goes, including my own family. Everybody wanted to stay indoors. But we made the best of it anyways. And in fairness, where the fuck else are you going to go? Last year, after our Christmas meet up, and that lasted a lot longer than this one did. Probably they were doing a lot better than we're doing this year. I went to a bar for at least about an hour or so before I took the train, or not the train, but a bus back to my place. But that was because there was a bar to go to. There isn't now. I mean, these days there's nothing else to go to. Again, why am I doing this show? Because there's nowhere else to go. But hey, the reason I'm saying a lot of this It definitely isn't to be doom and gloom. Trust me, you can get that anywhere else you go. Oh, there's these problems, there's that problems. Yeah, we know there are problems in the world, and a lot of times they have the problems and they don't even have a solution. And I'm not saying I have a solution here. At least in my world, at least in my realm, at least where I have some sort of influence, I guess. The people who are in my circle, and people who I choose to associate with, whether they agree with me or not, they're at least listening. And not only are they listening, they're putting some things that I told them to do, they're at least putting it into some sort of action. They're at least doing something about it. They're making their lives better. And maybe just a very small part, but a part nonetheless, into what I've said, into what I've told them, like, this is maybe something you should do. Now, call me crazy, which is fine. But I take that as a major victory. Most people these days would just call you crazy. They would do all kinds of things, they do all kinds of projections to delegitimize anything you're saying. And trust me, that's happened quite a bit. But as far as the people that are in my circle, my friends, my family, all those people, they're only listening, but they're putting it into action, what I'm saying. What I can say, at least to help them. And that's all I wanted. I say this stuff when I say things to help people, whether it's you guys are listening now, whether it's people who I talk to offline, anything else. It really is just to help you. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy having the conversations. I do enjoy the engagement. I do enjoy the mental exercises that I usually have to go through to figure this shit out. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy that. But the motivation to do that is to help out whoever is listening to this channel, listening to whether I say it to you directly or through here. If you're listening to this, my job is to help you. So if you take what I have to say and heed it and actually take actionable measures to take it to incorporate it into your daily lives and make your lives and the lives of people who are around you and depend on you, whatever, better, that I take as a fucking victory, because you're at least using what I'm putting out there. And so that I really do appreciate. Guess it gets to a point. Why did I call this show the Christmas Spirit? What is Christmas for? It has the religious stuff, which I'm not going to get into because it's not my thing. But as far as I can tell, It gives you the spirit of giving, and that's what that's what a lot of this show is. I want to get more exposure. By the way, probably should have said this at the beginning, like everybody else does. Hit the like button, subscribe to this, and all the other shit that you know you should do for channels that you care about. I'm not going to get into all of that. You should have done it already. But do it now if you haven't. The reason I say a lot of this shit and do all this shit is because people who listen to me, people who take the time to digest whatever the fuck I'm putting out here, I do care about your best interest. I do care about where you are in life and where you want to go in the future and how you can actually get there. That's why I say a lot of this stuff. Yes, I'm saying this now on a Saturday, Sunday afternoon, night, because there's nowhere to go, but I could easily be doing something else. I'm doing this now. Not just to hear my own voice, but to help you with yours. You want to get better in your life? Then start fucking acting like it. And that's all I want to say. That's all I want to do to help you. And what I'm grateful for is that the people who I do care about, they're actually starting to listen. And they're doing it. They're making actionable things to actually do that. Things that I've told them, hey, this is something you may want to actually try to track along. And they're doing it. And that's what I'm grateful for that. I've already talked about people who've helped me get to where I am now. Guy who got me the job I'm in now. And folks up here who hosted me for far longer than they should have. In the hopes that I would get at least my own place, let alone where I am now. Folks down home who helped me out far beyond the scope of this show here. Trust me, I did not do this alone. I had a lot of help behind the scenes. But I've also tried to help them out too. And finally, now they're listening. And it's starting to work. And that's something that's giving me real hope for the future. Whatever you think about 2020 and how fucked up it was, how crazy things got, at the end of the day, what matters is what you made of it. Okay, your life may have been thrown, COVID-19 and murder hornets. What did you do with those cards? Did you make them work for you? Or did you give in? At least the people in my life now, whether they're dealing with shit, this entire time, or whether they're dealing with shit now. At least people in my life, they're making this shit work for them. I know that's what I've been doing. And you know what? I'm in the best position I think I've ever been in my entire fucking life. I'm in the best position ever. I'll make that bold statement. Trust me, I loved it when I was with Hot Russian X. She was the best. I loved it when I was with Bull of Chaos. If I was with either of them, this show would not be a thing. I would not be here. Not in this place, not doing this show, not having a website, not having the podcast that I did. It would not be a thing. So that may be a bad thing. Trust me, I would love to have been. I would love to be with them the way that I was with them when I was. But they had to leave if I was going to do this and talk to all the people that I've met over the last year or two. In some cases, quite literally. I wouldn't have been in Salt Lake City if I was still with Bowl of Chaos. I'll tell you that right now. I wouldn't have spent the 6 or 7 days I was with Nick Schulander, NickSchulander.com. I wouldn't have met Amos. I wouldn't have met Joe Curl. I wouldn't have met the crew of Master and Geek. I wouldn't have met what's his name? Chess Rockwell. Several other people. We wouldn't have spent those time together. We wouldn't have smoked cigars together. We wouldn't have drank bottles of rosé together. We wouldn't have went to Rob's favorite Mexican restaurant. That wouldn't have happened if we were still together. So I'm sorry I ended up basically emotionally killing her. It's not something I would have wanted to do, but had that not happened, this person you're talking to probably would not be here. I would be working on the YouTube channel now. I'd be spending more of my time boning her. And that's okay. Everything happens for a reason. And this is something I was talking to Chris Von Erck about. You want to know the good things that happen for 2020 and the bad things? I can say that's a bad thing that happened in 2020 or 2019 or whatever, this whole year. But everything that's bad that happens, a lot of times happens for a good reason. It often leads to a good thing. I'm missing a lot of things that I usually have within the last couple of years. Would I have good this in the year? This fucking place. I'm in a much better place now. Place I get to smoke cigars, whatever, when and whenever I want. I have this show that's growing now. We'll see how far this goes. I'm glad I'm here to be able to do this. A lot of the good things that happen in your life happen because of the bad things that happen, is what I'm saying. So if you want to focus on the bad things, I understand that. Understand the bad things happen, and then a lot of times they make way or they pave the path for the good things that happen in your life. And so don't even take the bad things for granted. Because a lot of times, the bad things that happen in your life, they make the good things possible. The reason you're hearing this voice now is because of the bad things that happen in my life. So if you're getting any benefit from that, if you're getting benefit from me talking my ass off here, a whole lot of bad shit had to happen for me to end up in front of this mic, in front of this camera, to talk about it. So do I regret anything that happened? No, because it's what put me here in the first place. And the shit that's gonna happen that's bad to me later is gonna make a lot of good shit. It's should I survive it, it will make me a better person later, and hopefully I'll draw more lessons from it to be able to relay to you here later. And hopefully you can get better things from it as well. You'll learn lessons that I learned myself that you won't have to learn in person. I suppose it's one thing I really didn't think about until now. As I look at the window and the fan that I built literally out of scratch, I'm looking at it right now. That I would not have been able to do with a live-in. I couldn't. Because there have been so many fucking complaints. It'd have been a total bush to do. Especially with the size of this place. But again, reason I'm even here is because the path I took and the obstacles I had to get over. I mean, keep that in mind. You're always going to have obstacles. You go, if you're doing anything worthwhile, you're going to have obstacles that you're going to need to get over. And they're going to keep showing up more the bigger the obstacles you have to get over. The fact that you have obstacles to get over means that you're doing something right. It's whether you work to get over those obstacles, let alone get over them, that makes the difference. And so that's what I've been doing. Not to toot my horn or anything, but that's what I've been doing. I have the obstacles I have to get over. The brush that you have to chop through to get through the path less traveled. That the others who are still on the beaten path are going to make fun of you because they're still on the beaten path. Fine. Let them do that. Let them stay on the beaten path. You're the one. You're listening to this damn channel for sure. You're on the path less beaten. Again, if you're listening to this channel, you ain't fucking around with just any old bullshit. You're doing your own damn thing. I can almost guarantee that. And so if you're there, maybe you're having a little bit of trouble with that, and I can understand that. Trust me, so do I. I guess if I give any kind of advice, just keep going. If you're getting flack for what you're doing, that means you're doing the right thing. So keep going. It means you're on the right path. Keep going. Whatever you're doing, take the cues that you need to change or whatever, but keep going. Whatever you're doing, it is the right path. And if you need any help, trust me, reach out. Bacon at the goddamn bacon.com. Instagram at the goddamn bacon for now until I get deleted there. Twitter at Bacon at Laughter Humanity Show. BaconLAHshow.com. Or whatever it is. Twitter, you probably know what it is. Look, you can do it. Just keep going. That's all I'm saying. Okay, just going back to the original topic. This Christmas obviously wasn't the Christmas that anyone was expecting. But as far as mine goes, it was still a good one anyways. I enjoyed it. I got to spend time with some family. More ways than one. Hopefully you did as well. Now I got wings to attend to and some other food to get to. This is going to be a whole week of gluttony. I got a bunch of food from the folks. Thank you guys again for providing that for me. I really do appreciate it. And so I'll make myself available to it. I almost even get up to 200 pounds again. Up from 180 pounds, by the way. That and other things. And then I got another diet I want to try out. Also, Dino, again, we fighting, but I'm going to try your thing out here. We'll see what steak and eggs does. Along with just straight up plain alcohol. I got one more brew to try from again. Scant Brewery. Got one more probably to get through from them. Was it some chocolate, strawberry, or raspberry strong ale? Which was ridiculously good. Again, if you're in the area, go try that. And they have beers all over the place. Tacoma, Auburn, Renton, all these places. Definitely check them out. But yeah, I guess this is final. Look, I've got a lot of things I'm thankful for here. I'm thankful for the fact that I'm able to actually take the time to sit here and talk about all this shit here with you guys. I'm thankful for the people who helped me get here. I'm thankful for the people who actually sit here and listen to this, whether it's listening to my advice, whether it's listening to this for entertainment, whatever it is. Online, offline, whatever. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to listen to this. Again, a lot of times I do this just to help. I really do. This Rocky Patel cigar has not been too bad, by the way. Not as good as the other one. Actually, pretty close to the other one, now that I think about it. Yeah, I'm here in Four Sky Dungeon, and things are good here. There may be another broadcast on here before New Year ends. There should be one probably next Saturday. We'll see. So that's going to do it for me tonight. Thanks again for listening. Until next time. Take care. Stay ready. Keep it tactical. And above all else, be chaos, my friends.